All right, folks, whenever we pull into a gas station to fill up our tanks, we see all these massive warning signs staring right at us. And one of the most common signs out there is the use of mobile phones is strictly prohibited. Now, most people actually think that talking on the phone at a gas station could trigger a massive explosion or start a fire. But guys, in our last video, we proved both theoretically and practically that just talking on a cell phone can never set gasoline on fire. But that brings us right back to the million-dollar question. If phones don't cause fires, then why do we still hear about gas stations catching fire? Well, I dropped a huge hint in the last video: static electricity. So in today's video, we are going to bust this myth once and for all. Can static electricity actually turn a gas station into a pile of rubble, or is it all just hype? But before we get into that, check out this mind-blowing fact. When you drag your feet across a carpet, or when you're cozied up rubbing against a blanket in the winter, your body can dynamically charge up to over 35,000 volts of static electricity. Don't believe me? Dude, that voltage is just as insane as those 32 kilovolt high-tension power lines running right above our houses. Now you might be wondering, bro, if our bodies are holding that much voltage, why don't we just drop dead instantly? Well, the concept is actually super simple. A human being doesn't die from voltage. We die from the current, meaning the ampere. Anyway, that's a whole different side of science, and we'll dive deep into that in another video. So, to pull off today's experiment, I need to statically charge my own body. And boss, the way to do this is so ridiculously simple it's gonna make you laugh. Remember that classic childhood game? The one where we'd make a friend sit on a plastic chair and then violently smack the back of it with a towel? Exactly that. With that homemade hack, the person sitting on the chair would get completely charged with static electricity, and the second anyone else barely grazed them with a finger, zap, both of them would get a nasty electric shock. And that is exactly what we are going to use today. So guys, using this exact principle, today we are going to try and find out whether static electricity can actually cause petrol to catch fire or not. So, let's get started. So guys, it's a pretty simple setup. Right here I have some petrol, a towel, a plastic chair that I'm currently sitting on, and this glass beaker. I have wrapped this beaker inside and out from all sides using silver foil. All right, and along with that, I have connected this silver foil to the ground below using this wire. Now, since our table here is a bit different and the beaker is also made of glass, making it a bad conductor of electricity, I simply wrapped it in silver foil and grounded it with a wire to complete the circuit. Plus, this will help create a situation exactly like the one when you are getting petrol filled at a petrol pump. After all, your cars don't fly in the air, they stay connected to the ground just like this. On top of that, I am wearing no, not rubber, just normal shoes, so that I don't get any earthing through my feet. So, the situation is pretty simple. I will simply pour a little bit of petrol into this beaker, and then someone will hit the back of my chair with a towel, which will build up a static charge on me. Then, as soon as I, hopefully, try to touch this metal with my finger, a tiny little spark will be created, and that spark might just set the petrol on fire. At least that's what I'm hoping for. Alright guys, but for this I'm going to need someone who can hit me from behind with the towel. So guys, helping me out with this is my friend. Alright guys, the setup is officially ready. So let's pour a little bit of gasoline into this beaker. Alright, that should be enough. Let's set this aside, and now let's get to the real deal. Come on, man, let's do this. As this towel rubs against the plastic chair, you can clearly hear that crackle crackle sound. This sound is nothing but proof that static charge is building up inside my body super fast. By the way, let me tell you something. If I wasn't wearing these shoes, this charge would have never built up in the first place. Because without shoes, all the current would go straight through my feet and into the ground. Basically, it would have been grounded. Alright guys, I think my body is pretty charged up by now. Now it's time for the final test. So let's touch this and see if this tiny spark can cause a blast in this gasoline. Oh my god, bro, it actually worked. It finally worked. After getting shocked 26 times, this piece of junk finally fired up on the 27th try, man. To be honest, I just got hit with two shocks at the exact same time. First, that massive electric shock, and second, the absolute shock of succeeding. I literally cannot believe I actually pulled this off. All right, guys, let me put this out first and then I'll talk to you. So, guys, finally, we have proven that static electricity can actually ignite petrol. But, folks, making this happen wasn't a walk in the park. I had to jump through so many hoops, not to mention getting hit with some seriously intense electric shocks. But hey, they say hard work always pays off, and we finally nailed it. Now, a lot of you might be thinking, bro, what does this have to do with a gas station? It's not like we're going to sit there with a chair and a towel to generate electricity. But hold on a second. This has a direct connection to your trips to the gas station. How? To understand that, watch this video very closely. The way that woman touches the petrol nozzle, the fuel instantly catches fire. So guys, the reason behind this is actually static electricity. What actually happens is when you sit inside your car, your body rubs against the car seats, which causes it to become statically charged. But usually we keep touching metal objects or the car doors so all that charge gets discharged through them. However, in this specific case, nothing happens the first time the woman gets out of her car because she keeps touching random things here and there, so no static charge builds up in her body. But the second time, call it bad luck or whatever, she gets back inside her car and she climbs in such a way that her entire body rubs against the seats, generating static electricity all over again. And when she gets out of the car and walks toward the petrol nozzle, or rather the fuel tank, she also adjusts her sweater like this, which creates even more friction and builds up even more static electricity in her body. And then, the moment she touches the nozzle, bang, it catches fire right there. So guys, this proves that static electricity can indeed cause fires at petrol pumps. Alright guys, that's all for today. If you liked the video, make sure to hit that like button. I'll see you in the next video. Until then, bye-bye.